Mr. Speaker, can I welcome the Right Honourable Member to her first Prime Minister's Question Time and congratulate her on her appointment and becoming the country's second woman Prime Minister. I hope that she will agree with me that this House and Prime Minister's Question Time should be an opportunity to debate seriously the issues that face our country and our place in the world. On the steps of Downing Street, she talked very eloquently about fighting burning injustice. Yet, Mr. Speaker, her last act as Home Secretary was to shunt the Orgreave inquiry into the long grass. The Advocate General told the House of Lords that the IPCC told Home Office officials that if it announced any action to set up an inquiry or other investigation relating to Orgreave, it would have an impact on the Hillsborough investigation. The IPCC disputes that account. I hope Parliament wasn't misled, and will the Prime Minister now proceed with a full public inquiry into the terrible events at Orgreave?
Well, can I thank the Right Honourable Gentleman for the welcome that he has given me? Can I say to him, he refers to me as the second woman Prime Minister. In my years here in this House, I've long heard the Labour Party asking what the Conservative Party does for women. Well, just keeps making us Prime Minister. I welcome the comments he's made about Prime Minister's questions. We do debate serious issues in Prime Minister's questions. I look forward to the exchanges he and I will have, and I hope we will be having those exchanges over this dispatch box for many years to come.
The Prime Minister is rightly concerned, Mr. Speaker, and she said this: if you're black, you're treated more harshly than if you're white. So before appointing her new Foreign Secretary, did she discuss with him his description of black people as piccaninnies and why he questioned the motives of the US President Obama on his part Kenyan heritage?
Well, the Right Honourable Gentleman he refers to the remarks I made, and it is correct that if you are black, you will be treated more harshly in the criminal justice system. It's exactly why, as Home Secretary, I dealt with the issue of stop and search. I was concerned to make sure that nobody should be stopped and searched on the streets of this country because of the colour of their skin. I did that as a Conservative. 13 years of Labour did nothing on it.
Mr. Speaker, jobless claims have risen for the fourth month in a row. Welfare claims have risen as well. Austerity actually means people being poorer, services being cut, and local facilities being closed. In her speech on the steps of Downing Street, she also addressed insecure workers, saying you have a job, but you don't always have job security. Does that mean to those people that are worried about their future in work, does that mean that she's proposing to scrap the employment tribunal fees, repeal the Trade Union Act, or ban zero-hours contract, as more than a dozen European nations have already done? That would help to give greater job security to many very worried people in this country.
Again, I say to the Right Honourable Gentleman, yes, I did say that on the streets of Downing Street, and I think it's very important that here in this House we consider not only what might be called the more obvious injustices, but actually consider the life for those people for whom they are in work but struggling to make ends meet. It's essential. That's one of the things that the government has actually raised the threshold at which people start to pay income tax, for example. But it's also about making sure that we have more well-paid jobs in this country, which is also what the government is doing. But he refers, I'm interested that he refers to the situation of some workers who might have some job insecurity and potentially unscrupulous bosses. I suspect that there are many members on the opposition benches who might be familiar with an unscrupulous boss. A boss who doesn't listen to his workers, a boss who requires some of his workers to double their workload, a boss, and maybe even a boss who exploits the rules to further his own career. Remind him of anybody?
We are sent here to represent people. And there are many people in this country struggling with insecure jobs, with low wages. I know this is very funny for all Conservative members, but I do not suppose there's too many Conservative MPs who have to go to a food bank in order to supplement their family table every week. I think we should reflect on those things. The Prime Minister highlighted the failures of her predecessor on social justice, home ownership, education and the cost of living. Some might say that as a cabinet minister she too was responsible for that. But she empathised with working people when she said, "I know you're working round the clock, I know you're doing your best, I know that sometimes life can be a struggle." Yesterday, the Institute of Fiscal Studies found that 2/3 of children living in poverty in Britain have at least one parent in work. What, other than warm words, is she going to offer those families, those children who are hungry often and very insecure in their living? Isn't it our duty to offer some hope and security to them?
Yes, it is, and we are concerned about those people. But the answer is not the Labour Party's answer of unlimited, uncapped welfare for people. The answer to people who are in work and who are struggling in work, and the answer to those people who want to get into work, is to have a strong economy, an economy that delivers jobs and that delivers well-paid jobs. And that's why I can assure the Right Honourable Gentleman that on this side of the House, we are focused on building a country that works for everyone. That's an economy that ensures that everyone can benefit from the nation's wealth, a society where everyone gets the opportunities they deserve, and a democracy that everyone can have faith in. And finally, I would just say to the Right Honourable Gentleman, the Labour Party may be about to spend several months of fighting and tearing itself apart. The Conservative Party will be spending those months bringing this country back together.
With efforts to reach the African and other ethnic communities in the United Kingdom with greater impacts and create the platform to hear your silent and unheard views in this hugely growing community in the United Kingdom. Our channel Bentv presents to you another live current affairs television program. Our focus on the program is to review and discuss issues around the diaspora community in the UK. The program offers you that unrestricted voice on issues affecting you in the UK. Join us live every Monday at 10 a.m. to 12 noon. Another business segment of Dialogue in Diaspora, 2 to 3 p.m. every Monday. But guess what? You know you can be part of the program. Just send us an email at bentelevisionuk@gmail.com. Dialogue in Diaspora, your voice, your opinion on our TV.
Following the recent attacks in Nice and Germany, these so-called lone wolves no longer have to walk around with a gun or a bomb strapped to their body, as they have devised new means of carrying out their attacks on innocent citizens going about their normal lives. Britain has managed to avert such massive attacks on its citizens, with statistics showing that over 40 attacks have been averted since 2005, including 7 in the past 18 months. But it has been said that its exit from the EU has stirred up hate crimes. Today we ask people if they still feel safe in Britain and what major cities could be under attack.
Well, I think every major city in the world is open for attack, but I feel the network we have in the UK is very safe. But, well, given that there could be something going off, and we have had bombs go off, so, but I don't feel unsafe.
The terrorist attacks. Yeah, I do feel safe in Britain. Yeah.
What major cities do you think can be under attack?
Pretty much I think anyone who's affiliated with the war on Syria and the war on issues with Israel, and generally kind of all locked up with Iraq and IS really. Yeah. I do feel safe in London, yeah. I have friends who live abroad and say it must be scary to live in London, but I don't know, London always feels like a safe city to me really. So.
How safe do you think Britain is?
I think it's pretty safe, but then again, I think the way those attacks have progressed, it's hard to predict how they're going to act out, because it's not bombs anymore, it's, you know, trucks, it could be guns, it could be anything, so you never know. So it's hard to hard to, prevent this from happening. But I think the government must be doing something. Yeah.
So how safe do you think Britain is?
Well, I think it's always a tricky one. Anyone can be stabbed anywhere around the world. I think it was incredibly tragic what happened in Nice and as well in Germany. But I think what a lot of people are doing is, I don't think you can have the mindset of sitting at home and hoping that nothing's going to happen, because at the end of the day, you could walk down the road and be hit by a bus. You could, any of these horrible atrocities could happen anywhere. So, how safe is London? How safe is Britain? You don't really know. I personally love living in London. I feel safe day to day, but like you say, you never know what could happen. So, yeah.
How safe do you think Britain is?
How safe do I think Britain is? I don't really want to answer that question.
Why?
Because it's quite a politically loaded question.
Okay. What do you
I personally feel safe, yes.
Do you feel safe?
I feel safe, but in Germany, I come from Germany as well, but I think it can happen. Of course it can happen, but if you are afraid, it's more worse going through a town and feeling very anxious and so.
So what major cities do you think could be a target?
To solve the problems in the countries where the terrorists are coming from. Yes, I think that's the best. And to integrate the persons coming to Europe, to our countries, and give them a chance for the future. I think that would be the best against such a...
So following the recent attacks in Germany and in France, do you think Britain is safe? Being here right now, do you
I've
feel
been
safe?
here, yeah, I'm here for an hour and I feel really calm and safe.
Okay.
But this is only 1 hour experience, so.
So how safe do you think Britain is following the recent attacks in Germany and in Nice?
I think we're quite safe. Yeah.
Why do you think so?
Because I think it was in the news recently that they foiled quite a few, so I think we have quite a good security service. So.
Oh, it's pretty safe. You don't have to be worried. Things happen. People die from all sorts of things. People die from auto accidents every day. I mean, way more than terrorist attacks. So there's no problem.
Okay. So what major cities do you think could be under attack?
Basically, they're looking for the key ones to get maximum exposure, like New York, London, Paris, Los Angeles has been safe so far. Those are the main cities they're looking for.
And in your own opinion, what would you suggest to the government to strengthen the security level?
It's not too easy. The government is doing what it can do because you don't know what they're going to do next. But they have to be more vigilant and be more stringent in the way they prosecute these people. So. Okay.
Not very safe, unless they increase our security.
How do you think? How would you suggest to the government?
More police on the streets, maybe more security at train stations. Yeah.
Not really safe. I don't really think it is safe. We don't know exactly really, because we may think we are safe, but we're not really safe. We don't know what's happening to us now lately, so we're gonna have to wait and see.
What would you advise the government to do to strengthen the security?
Work harder, do something to. Not many people might agree with it, but if they work harder to save the Britain, then it'll be better, because everyone else will be happier, and because we don't want bad things happen to our country. So if they try harder, then now that our Cameron has left, we don't know what to do now. Yeah, exactly. So I don't know how she's gonna be now, but let's hope that she works hard and she looks after us.
So following the recent attacks, how safe do you think Britain is?
How safe is it? As safe as we are going to take care of things and not go where it's super busy, just do some sightseeing, come back to our hotel rooms, fairly early, and be careful. Oh goodness. Well, I was pleased to see at Gatwick Airport there was very good security there with dogs and police, army police. So that made me feel secure. It was nice to see. Our luggages were checked. That was good. So to see that this is happening, that made me feel a little bit more secure.
You're as safe as you are. Anytime you can get anything could happen to you at any time. So, you know, you could be crossing the road and anything could happen. So I don't think about it.
Do you feel safe?
Yeah, I feel safe as I can. I don't worry about anything like that. When my time comes, it's my time.
I don't think any Western country is safe from attacks at the moment. I mean, you've got to be on constant alert and practice. It's even my young children get a bit nervous about coming into London. It's a very sad circumstance. So, degree of safeness is, yeah. I suppose if you frequent the places where a lot of people go, you're going to increase the chances of being in the line of attack. It's quite a frightening time.
What do you suggest to the governments of these major cities to do?
That's a tough one. You know, you can be ever vigilant and everything, but I think the terrorists are pretty devious, clever people. They're going to find ways. Yeah, you can never be 100% safe. What can governments do? I just suppose keep the levels of vigilance as high as they can and keep people aware of what to do and how to try and keep safe. But it's an impossible one. You can't 100% fight it. It's always going to happen.
Okay.
Yeah.
What would you suggest to the governments to do to strengthen the level of security here in Britain?
Well, is there anything they can do? Because it's hard to know where it's going to happen, isn't it?
Yeah, that's true.
I don't think that you can tell where it's going to happen next.
I think it's still very safe, actually. I think we've got great intelligence services. I think the police do a great job. And I think we've probably been at it longer than most. We've had terrorism in this country now since 1970. So I think the public are more educated about it than they are perhaps in other countries around the world. And we're just used to it.
Okay. Do you think London is one of those major cities that would be a target?
Yes. It's the capital of a city that plays its role on the political stage across the world. So I guess we make a lot of friends and a lot of enemies, really. But that's the price you pay, I suppose.
Any suggestions to the government on how to strengthen the security level?
No, I think some of the recent things we've seen where people are using new methods, I think will change the cityscape. I think you'll see more, pedestrian-only zones, etc. But I guess, that's the way it's got to be. So, but we usually learn the lessons quick, and we usually deploy them pretty quick. So you can't be 100% safe, but you can't let them win. So you've got to get on with daily life, haven't you? So.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Okay.
How safe do you think Britain is?
Pretty safe.
Okay.
Very safe. We have a good police force here. I think the French are a bit clueless to it all. I don't think we are. So I think we're pretty safe, as safe as we can be.
Okay. Any suggestions to the government on how to increase the security level?
Stop bombing other countries.
Okay.
Like, stop going to, Iraq and tearing it apart and killing their people. Then they won't come here and kill us. It's sort of simple common sense. If you're going to ruin somewhere and you're not going to show any regard for them, they're going to do the same to you. So it's all created by us. It's not created by them, it's created by us.
With efforts to reach the African and other ethnic communities in the United Kingdom with greater impacts and create the platform to hear your silent and unheard views in this hugely growing community in the United Kingdom. Our channel, Bentv, presents to you another live current affairs television program. Our focus on the program is to review and discuss issues around the diaspora community in the UK. The program offers you that unrestricted voice on issues affecting you in the UK. Join us live every Monday at 10 a.m. to 12 noon. Another business segment of Dialogue in Diaspora, 2 to 3 p.m. every Monday. But guess what? You can be part of the program. Just send us an email at bentelevisionuk@gmail.com. Dialogue in Diaspora, your voice, your opinion on our TV.
An attempted military coup in the Turkish capital on the 16th of July 2016 left the country in chaos and unrest. Soldiers took control of TRT state television, which announced a countrywide curfew and martial law. An announcer read a statement on the orders of the pro-coup faction that accused the government of eroding the democratic and secular rule of law. Tanks blocked of bridges in Ankara and other key cities while the Air Force was in charge of the country's airspace. There were reports of explosions and the internet being caught with the planes flying low over the city of Ankara. However, despite the military's incursion and attempt, tens of thousands of civilians marched through the streets of several Turkish cities in support of President Recep Tayyip Erdogan, who took to the social media to rally support for his democratically elected government. His supporters also took to the streets to protest and pledge allegiance to President Erdogan, who insisted that his government was still under control. There were terrifying scenes on the streets as the country's military tried to overthrow the government. Turkey has a history of military coup but has not experienced one in nearly 2 decades. The military in Turkey sees itself as the defender of the country's secular traditions, and the generals have been critical of Mr. Erdogan, whose AK party is one with roots in Islamism. He has long had a strained relationship with the military and nationalists in a state that was founded on secularist principles after World War I. As soon as it became clear that the coup had failed, the purges began, first with the security forces, then spreading to Turkey's entire civilian infrastructure. Authorities have banned all academics from traveling abroad as the purge of state employees suspected of being connected to the failed coup continues. More than 50,000 people have been rounded up, sacked or suspended. President Erdogan claims the attempted coup is now over, with more than 1,500 military personnel arrested. However, as tensions remain high and gunshots still being heard, events could unfold fast. Osarimen Opalua reporting for Bentv News.
Continued efforts to reach the African and other ethnic communities in the United Kingdom with greater impacts and create the platform to hear your silent and unheard views in this hugely growing community in the United Kingdom. Our channel, Bentv, presents to you another live current affairs television program. Our focus on the program is to review and discuss issues around the diaspora community in the UK. The program offers you that unrestricted voice on issues affecting you in the UK. Join us live every Monday at 10 a.m. to 12 noon. Another business segment of Dialogue in Diaspora, 2 to 3 p.m. every Monday. But guess what? You know you can be part of the program. Just send us an email at bentelevisionuk@gmail.com. Dialogue in Diaspora, your voice, your opinion on our TV.